Buckets. That's the name of my boat. Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to
Mercy
Tallahassee.
if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, cross over to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give it a go. This alley-oop, hoodie girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Beat the gameplay, they want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets out the buckets, baby. You out of town. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
How's it going, everyone? Canes get a big win here. Reporting to you live from the Watsco parking lot. Was gonna do it from the media section, but I didn't want the event staff to have to sit there and wait for me to finish. So quick hitter here from the parking lot. Canes win 79-70. It was certainly not a thing of beauty, but the Canes do get it done. Kind of muscle their way to a win here against the Stanford team, which I know on paper you expect to beat. They do have 3 conference wins, and 2 of those are against UNC and Louisville. So they've shown the ability to beat people, but yeah, the Canes got off to a great start. We're at 25-15. Everything was flowing, and then familiar story a little bit. Stanford went to a zone. Canes really struggle with it, especially in the first half shooting. We're 2 of 10, I believe, at one point from 3. Finished 6 of 15. Got hot midway through the second half. The free throw shooting was abhorrent. Canes ended up 19 of 31 because they made a bunch of free throws down the stretch. They were 9 of 19 late into the game. It kind of kept Stanford in the game because actually at the free throw line, the Stanford did struggle to get to the free throw line. The Canes shot 31 free throws. Stanford shot 10. Again, several of those were after the game was out of reach. I think the Canes went 10 for 12 in those clutch free throws when Stanford's intentionally fouling. But, Stanford 5 of 10 from the free throw line. The Canes were 9 of 19 for much of the game, but that little boost certainly helped. Stanford made a lot of threes. 11 of 24 from 3. Canes were only 6 of 15. So that was kind of what evened it up. But the Canes did persevere. After going up 25-15, Stanford kind of took control of the game. They led by, I believe, 11 at one point in the second half. Actually, by 9. They led by 9 with 14:20 left, 49-40. Canes just kind of muscle their way back into the game. Didn't shoot the ball well, really at all. They did hit that string of threes. Like I said, I think they made 4 out of the last 5, so that certainly helped. But yeah, did not shoot the ball well, did not play well, but just guts and muscle their way through. Shout out to Rocky hanging out in the chat. He was here early. Yeah, nice way to finish. Got to shoot free throws better for sure. Left a lot of points on the table again. The stats are actually misleading and probably more positive than they should have been because the actual free throw shooting was pretty abhorrent here. So certainly something the Canes need to do better. The 3-point shooting was bad most of the night, but Timo got it going a little bit. Hit 2 in a row there at one point and kind of got the Canes going. He missed 3 free throws when he got fouled on a 3. That was not good. But yeah, the Canes managed to gut this game out. Out rebounded Stanford. And yeah, just kind of fought and found a way through, really. Like that was kind of what happened here. It was not It was not a thing of beauty. It was not a work of art, and they just really took control late in the game. Really just guts. I mean, it was nothing like that. They hit some threes to kind of get back in the game, but then that end finish was a lot of really good defense, really tough defense. Fighting Stanford for every ball and kind of using that to get out and run. And that saw them through here. So 79-70 the final. Stanford had 40 points in the first half. Much better defense in the second half. Stanford did hit some wild three-pointers towards the end. One of their guys, Gieler, hit 5 of 8 from 3. He was hitting all these crazy three-pointers towards the end, which really did help. Which helped them kind of stay sort of in the game, and that's why they got to 70 points, because the Canes defense was excellent in the second half. In terms of individual performances, Malik Renew was our player of the game, 6 of 10, 7 of 9 on free throws, one of the few guys. He and True was really good at the line down the stretch too, 4 of 4. But yeah, Malik got our player of the game. Really a complete game. He got into foul trouble in the first half, and that really hurt. Let Stanford kind of take control a little bit, because as bad as the Canes are against zones, they're even worse when you don't have Malik kind of flashing to the free throw line. So that stunk. That period of time where Stanford kind of had a 19-point swing in the middle of the game there, but Canes came back and actually 18-point swung it back the other direction. So Canes win. Malik with 20 and 5, 3 assists. Trey started out really hot. He had, I believe, 13 of the Canes' first 25 points. Finished with 18, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Shelton, not his best game, especially shooting. He was 4-9 the free throw line, 0 of 3 from 3, but a lot of energy, really good rebounding. Had 7 boards. Had some big buckets down the stretch. And then True Washington came off the bench. Dante Allen started. True came off the bench. Had a big impact, especially down the stretch again. And Dante Allen made 2 huge plays, hit a 3, and then made a driving layup that put the Canes, in front, and they stayed there. So big impact from him. I mentioned Timo's 2 threes. Other than that, he kind of struggled. Gnome got some minutes, didn't do much. Altuntis, spelled Uday a bit. The Canes did go small quite a bit in the second half, but when the Canes, it was really just, if the Canes, when they were getting stops, they were able to get out and run, and that was their best offense. When they couldn't, they got stuck in the zone. That's probably shown. The fast break points, Canes had 13. Stanford had none. So that kind of tells the story. Ironically, both teams, Canes led by 10 at one point, Stanford led by 9 at one point, but it was never actually like a back and forth game. It was someone would go on these huge runs. There was only 2 lead changes in the game. Canes jumped out early, built a big lead, blew it. Stanford then built a big lead, blew it, and the Canes took the lead for good when they took it. But it's a huge win. It's a home win. Again, Stanford is not like the top of the ACC, but they have 3 ACC wins. And again, Louisville and UNC are 2 of those. They're also capable of playing poorly. We probably got kind of their middle performance. But the Canes have now, kind of after that 2-game losing streak, have won 2 in a row. They're now 6-2 in conference, 17-4 overall. Just huge, and obviously a huge improvement over last year. But that puts them, they're 4th right now. They're trying to get that bye in the ACC tournament. So, all to play for here. I know this was not a work of art. The Canes will be happy to escape here with a win, but it is it's a big statement when you can struggle and the ball's not going in, nothing's going your way, and you just kind of gut it out. It actually was flowing a little bit like the Florida State game. Canes got out early, then struggled, and then Indian, came back and kind of fought their way through and just could not get over the hump. This time they fought their way through and won. So again, I think that's a sign of progress and the ability to kind of close and finish huge going forward. So again, the Canes go to 6-2 in the ACC, 17-4 overall. avoided what wouldn't have necessarily been a bad loss, like on paper, like losing to Florida State. Florida State's in last place in the ACC, losing them at home. That's a bad loss. This would not have really been that. But, it's those games you need to win to kind of take that next step. And fortunately, they did do that. They closed out. They won the game. They finished strong here. And, yeah, a lot to work on. The zone offense is still something I think we're all kind of going to be worried about. And then, yeah, it's the second game in a row where he shuffled the starting lineup. We'll see what shows up for Cal on Saturday. In terms of plus minus, Shelton plus 18, True plus 15, Malik plus 10, Trey plus 8, Uday minus 6 is kind of surprising, but they went small and made that run. Dante plus 5, Gnome and Timo minus 2 and minus 3 respectively. So we'll see what lineup we see against Cal. He has been kind of still giving starters minutes to essentially 6. There's a 6-man rotation at this point. Timo does get double-digit minutes, but it's really, the guys who have been starting, and that includes Dante at this point as one of those. So yeah, we'll see what shows up in the next game. But again, this was a critical win to kind of advance the Canes forward in the ACC standings. And yeah, we'll see the adjustments made for the next game. Again, some of this is just you got to shoot better. The free throw shooting needs to be better. The 3-point shooting, again, there was that string where they made 4 or 5, but that other than that, it was 2 of 11. They're 2 of 10. That's not good enough. And that's why Stanford built the lead. The missed free throws, missed 3-pointers really hurt, but the Canes were able to overcome and come out of here with a win. And that is kind of all that matters at this stage in the game. Looking ahead past Cal on Saturday, the Canes again, it's an ACC schedule, so these are good opponents. They'll travel up to Boston to take on Boston College. They have a week off between those games, though. That's Saturday 7th at 2 p.m. And then coming back home, they'll take on North Carolina and then travel to North Carolina State. So those are, especially at North Carolina one at home on the 10th. Those are big games. But the next game is Cal on Saturday at 4 p.m. Everyone head out to the Watt and support this team. Again, 17-4 overall, 6-2 in conference. It's not a work of art, but it was a win, and it was a gutsy win, and winning ugly is a skill, and this is a team that actually hasn't really done that. They've played well when they've won. They've got 2 losses where they did not, where they were kind of outclassed by the opponent, to be honest, in Florida and in BYU, and then 2 others where they just didn't play well, and they weren't able to overcome that. Today they overcame not playing well, and that's just the growth of this team. They're getting better, and let's see if we get a good performance on Saturday. If they scoring 79 points when you can't really make threes and can't make free throws is pretty damn impressive. Again, they just fought their way in. They kept going, and that's why the 31 free throws came from. So, again, big performance. Congrats to the Canes, 17-4, 6-2 in conference. We are doing buckets a lot. There'll be something tomorrow after the women's game. Head out to the Watt. They're honoring our namesakes. The person who named our show, Katie Meyer, that she's being honored tomorrow. So definitely head out to the Watt if you can. There's giveaways, and we love Katie around here. So do that. And then Saturday, 4 p.m., hosting Cal. We'll have a full buckets on Saturday. So all 3 of us will be there. Tomorrow might just be Melissa and I, or might just be me, but we'll get something up there to cover the women's game. And then Saturday, after Cal, we will lock in here. Again, this is just a quick one from the parking lot, which is now pretty empty. But go Canes, and we'll talk to y'all tomorrow.
Don't cry. Keep it chill.
If I can play the outro.
Don't cry. Keep it chill. Wear good socks.